Hot side faucet leak in here when the water's turned on. Both sides should be fine. No problem there. A couple different ways to repair this. When you have it leaking from the handle there, most of the time it's coming from the O-ring that's in the top of the handle. If it was dripping from the spout, it's usually from the bib washer. And it actually depends on your particular handle style. But anyway, yeah, you can see it leaking right up through the top there. So that's the O-ring in the top of the handle. So what we want to do is turn the hot side water off. This one's a two-handle faucet, so they're split. Hot side's on the left, cold on the right, usually. What we'll do is we'll turn the angle stop off and back up top. And just verify that the water's actually off. And it is, so that's good. And maybe a good idea to pull the pop up so we don't lose a screw or anything down there that we don't want to lose. So we went ahead and pulled the pop up there. Now, when you take this off, you really want to use like a adjustable wrench. If you do have to use channel locks, avoid squeezing it because you can deform the shape of this. And then of course it's going to leak. I also have a special tool here I got called a one-stop wrench, specifically for taking these out and for changing out angle stops. Kind of a neat deal, and that fits right over the deal here. So you can just turn this out in one stop, sort of. Look inside here, and I'm going to be adding some grease here. There you can see the bib washer, and this one has a valve seat. Now the best way to go with these is to change this out to a ceramic disc cartridge. You'd have to remove the valve seat and then you replace the whole deal with a ceramic disc cartridge. But you can also just repair these. So I'm going to show you repairing these. What we do is twist it all the way through. And if it's hard to turn, you can always use the handle or use tools. But here we go. And there's the O-ring I was telling you about. Now this may be a good point to wear gloves, especially because we're going to be adding lube. Sometimes you can just lube the O-ring if it's newly worn. If it's really worn, you'll need to replace the O-ring. So I do have an O-ring kit for replacing the O-ring. I'm going to show you just lubing it first and going to examine the condition of the O-ring. It looks okay. So let's try lubing it. Here's the best thing for this is some high temperature faucet grease, but you can also use silicone lubricant. Okay. Here we go. Now we're going to reinsert our deal. And I'm not putting the lubricant where the bib washer is because we really don't want the lubricant to be mixing with the water supply. We just want it separate. Okay. There we go. Now I can reinsert our deal here. Avoid getting it cross-threaded. And if need be, I'll change the O-ring. No big deal. I have an O-ring kit here, all different sizes, and we just match up the size. But again, sometimes you can just lube it, and it's enough to stop the leak. There we go. Just going a little tight, and we'll test it. And if I need to tighten that up, then we can retighten Okay. Now we can test it out. I just turn it off and there's opening it up. I'm going to leave the line open as I turn the water back on, and that way it'll push any air out of the line. Here it goes. Oh yeah, we're definitely leaking still. So we're going to change that O-ring. Like I said, you can also get new cartridges for these and just change the cartridge. And the best way, in my opinion, is the washerless ceramic disc cartridge. Then there's no more squeeze to squeeze. This type has these bib washers that seat and squeeze down against the valve seat, and that's how it turns off the water. It works fine, but ceramic disc cartridge doesn't wear out the same way, so it's a much nicer feature. Anyway, we're going to pick the O-ring off here. Got up underneath it with my Leatherman, or using like a flat blade screwdriver. There we go. And now I need to match up that size O-ring. And my kit here also has a picture diagram to tell me which O-rings are where, but I think this kit has been dropped before, and therefore everything is completely off as to what's what. I have another kit also here. This one's a little more in order. So we're trying to match up that O-ring. That looks pretty good. Pretty close. That looks really good. Okay. So I'm going to go with this one. It looks like it's a little, the inside diameter is the same. Looks like the outside diameter is a little fatter, which could just be because the other one wore out. Anyway, we're going to slip the O-ring back up and over the top of this deal. In theory. Like so. There we go. And now we're going to add our lube to the O-ring. I don't know, it looks a little fat there. But we'll try it out. See what happens. Okay. So here goes feeding it back into our deal here. Pretty tight. That seems to be working though. Okay. So I undid it enough that we can leave it open. And now move this down into our faucet. And once again, just tighten it on. Okay. Open my pop-up. And now we'll test it out and see. Turn the water back on down below. Give it a go. Seems like it did the trick. First I was questioning it. Let me turn off the water here and dry this up. We'll give it a go with a fresh fresh run. Yep, we're all set there. That's all it took. Good to go, no more leaks. That's how to fix a leaking handle for a faucet. Changing the faucet O-ring. And this we can just match up. Should probably really be straight up and down on the hot and cold. Left for hot, right for cold. Move this one over so that these line up. We're good to go. Hot and cold, all set. And I'll survive another round. Good to go. And lastly, you just want to follow it up with a field test down below to make sure you have no leaks. I'm all dry here, no leaks, tracing it back from the angle stop up to the supply line. If you did have a little bit of water up top from when you originally pulled out the cartridge, you may have to dry that off first and retest. Good way to test it over time is to put a dry paper towel down below and then just monitor it for a couple days just to make sure. Don't want any surprises later on. Good to go.